My name is Sharnice Bowman, and I am here interviewing. Please state your first, last name, and
Amber Johnson.
what year did you graduate TSU?
I graduated from Texas Southern University in the spring of 2002 with my bachelor's degree. Then I graduated in 2006 with my master's.
Okay. What was your major?
Human Services and Consumer Sciences. I was under the guidance of Dr. Maxine Hammond Smith.
Okay. What made you decide to go to TSU?
Okay. One is HBU. But all of my friends were, when I was in high school, they were going to schools out of state. And it was always at HBU. So I was like, I'm not going to go out of state for out of state fees because it's going to end up costing more for me to attend school. So I was like, I want to go to a black college. I had the opportunity to go to Langston University, which that's where the majority of my family went, but I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to Texas Southern because it was close to home, but I still had, still had access to some of my friends.
Right.
So it was just enough. So I had my little clique when I was in college, my freshman year, and that was it. Lived in the dorm. I think that was Lanier East. That was
they still have it?
Yeah, they still have it. They still have. I think they shifted the guys down there at one point in time because my younger sister, she graduated from TSU, and my little brother was going to TSU too.
Right.
And by the time my brother had gotten there, they shifted all the guys down to the near east, which should be near the circle.
Right. Okay. Okay. When I say HBCU, what does that mean to you?
Work hard. It's easy to get in college. It's hard to get out of college. And so I had, who is it, Dr. Gooden, Sherry Gooden, her motto when I got there was like, no more than 4. And so when I got into the department, I was labeled as a business major at one point in time, and then I ended up changing that major to human services. But with my being there on the campus, I got to see a variety of things. So when I think of the HBUs, I always think of, you're going to work. You're going to earn at least 2 degrees at one time. And my cousin, this may sound like racially charged, she said, you're going to get 2 degrees. You're going to get the degree that you majored in and then the degree of dealing with people. I was like, okay, you can fill in the people part if you want to. But that's what she told me. So I feel that I'm well versed. And I see things differently than how some other students who are African American that attended other universities. They don't see the stuff that I see.
Right.
Some people think of HBUs as like, oh, it's just another extra Black history course. It's like, no, it's more to it than that. Of course, I didn't talk to this gentleman because he went to Texas A&M. He's a Phi Beta Sigma, and he just thought that he was just it because he went there. And I was like, okay, education is education.
Yeah.
Across the charts, it doesn't matter where you go.
Right. Yeah. What was TSU like when you went there?
They didn't have all the stuff y'all got now. When I went back and was walking on the yard, I was like, when did they get this building? When did this pop up? Where are the trees at? Because when I was on campus, the yard was the yard. All the fraternity trees were on the Tiger Walk. So when you walk through the yard, you could see all the sororities, all of the fraternities. You saw practically everything that was there, and everybody hung out on the yard. We were at, the Student Life Center.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we had pep rallies, they'll be down in that little pit in front of the window.
Right.
It was just bomb when I was there. But the technology was kind of slow moving. So we didn't have Wi-Fi access, and we had the computers that had the big, huge monitors. It's making me look old, but that's what happened.
They're starting to kind of get the fraternities and sorority trees back. They put all that stuff back out.
I heard about that. I heard about that. I did hear about that.
Knowing everything that has transpired this year within the past few months, what do you think about that? How does that make you feel?
It's a little disappointing, but the reality is it's happening everywhere. So even though it's Texas Southern, it's still happening on other campuses. It's just that ours is more publicized. So of course we're going to make the world news, and of course we're going to end up being on the local news and all this other stuff because it's a historically Black university, and the logic is what great can come from that university.
Right.
A lot of great things can come from that university. A lot.
Right.
I'm one of it, and one of them, and she's going to be one too.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, already. Look back there in the background. I know y'all see that TSU back there in the back. Y'all see that?
Do you think being educated from an HBCU by African American professors, given our culture, is better than that of a non HBCU?
Actually, yeah. What ends up happening when you go to a HBCU, you're catered to a little bit more
Right.
compared to one of those large universities.
Right.
My professors knew me. I knew my professors, and they always had an open door policy. So I can go in, Dr. Gann, I didn't understand what you were talking about with XYZ with this one. And so, okay, so the theorem, that's Dr. Gann taught math, but he always had an open door policy.
Right.
If I just needed to get access to something or to somebody, I always had easy access to them. You can't get that at those excessively large universities. My sister, who graduated, I think, in 2006, I think it's been she's been out of school for a little while now, but when she graduated, it wasn't 2006, it was like 2013, 2014. When she started school, when she graduated in 99, she went to the University of Houston because her attitude was, that's TSU, that's a black school, you ain't gonna get nothing done there. She didn't finish at the University of Houston.
Right.
She finished at Texas Southern University. My friend Erica said the exact same thing. That's a black university. She didn't finish at the University of Houston. She graduated from Texas Southern University. And the line in the song says, all roads lead to Texas Southern. It's true. I know a lot of people who start out in other places and they end up at Texas Southern. I had one of my graduates from last year start out at the University of Houston. And he comes back and he says, Miss Johnson, and that I already knew what he was talking about when he said that. He was like, it's rough. I'm gonna keep my grades up, but I'm transferring to TSU. And I had a sign up on the door that said all roads lead to Texas Southern, because it's true.
Right.
So he's over there, and then one of his little partners is over there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever gotten passed up on a job because you received your degree from an HBCU?
Mm-mm.
No.
I have not.
Do you
And
believe that it happens?
I do believe that it could possibly happen, yeah, because there's going to be some stigma attached to it, to a black university. It can happen, but I haven't experienced that. What I have learned is that coming from Texas Southern University, I'm well versed, so I can go into any place and just be myself, and you're going to see me, and you're not going to be looking at the degree. You're going to be looking at my character and my intelligence based on how I carry myself. So I don't think it didn't play a role for me, but I do believe that it's possible for that to happen.
All right. Okay. Now TSU requires all incoming freshmen to take African American
I
history
love it.
class. Do you wish that they required that before 2015?
Actually, I just took it on general principle. I did I do, yeah, it was African American lit. I took it just on general principle because I needed history.
Right.
I needed not history class. I needed literature classes, and so it could vary what you took. So I took that with Dr. Kilgore Kimball. She was awesome, but she made it interesting for me. But I do believe that that's something that should just be general principle. You know you have to do it. Do they still have GUAC over there? The General Universities Admission Center. It's like it was a class that they had when I was there
Yeah.
for all incoming freshmen, new people to the campus, and it got you acquainted with campus life. They probably don't offer that no more.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'm showing my age.
Ah.
I am. I'm 22.
Do you believe white people or people that's not of African American descent can teach African Americans of their own history?
Yeah, I do. Who was that? I do believe Caucasians can teach history. They can teach African American history. It depends on the heart of the person. So if there's passion that's there, they can teach anything and get their point across. I had Dr. Beef and Dr. Maddox for my history classes because I think I had to take 2 years of history, and then I think I had Dr. Jones for political science. But Dr. Beef and Dr. Maddox were white, and Dr. Beef loved him some history. especially the African American component to it. It's like, okay, but he had a passion for it. Sorry about that. That is my cell phone. Okay, yeah. Anywho, but yeah, if your heart is there, you can do it. If it's something that you actually have a passion for, you can do it. I have a coworker here. Her name is Miss Kaiser. She went to Texas Tech. She loves dance, and her passion is always going to be there. And she's like, I can teach dance anywhere. Doesn't matter where it is, who I'm teaching it to. I know that I can do it because I love it. So if you have that drive for it, I think anybody can basically do it. Just as long as you're keeping it to the truth, you're fine. At least
Right.
that's my interpretation. Some people may not agree with that.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for
Mhm.
sitting down with me and doing this interview.
Oh, and I have to say this. Kanika Bazell White was an influence to me on the campus. She was Miss Texas Southern University. She's also my sorority sister, but she was a running, driving force there on the campus for bringing new people in, bringing freshmen in, and all this
Right.
other stuff. So, my advice to you, those old people that's in them dorms, you need to talk to them because
Right.
then they can guide you in the direction as to what you should do and what you shouldn't do with regards to your classes and your majors because they're the foundation of the campus. They know the campus. They know the campus. And get you a mentor.
Got
That's
it.
what Dr. Hammersmith made me do.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.